I. It is a bit dark in my room. Again, still have a major headache. Oh, that does. Um, Actually, that lighting's not too bad. Yay! I woke up at like, I don't know if y'all can hear that. That is my brand new fan. Uh, for some reason, it costs more than the bigger version of itself. Why did I pick? I'll show you. It's a Honeywell. It's just sitting right on top of its own box. The damn thing. I had one like it before. It was bigger. It was about that big and perfectly round, and I absolutely adored the thing. But when I moved to Washington, the fucking thing broke. Um, well, before I moved to Washington, it broke. Sorry, I didn't have it in Washington. I had to buy a new one when I got there. And so I went and picked a different fan, which is the black one on the table next to a mirror that my mom brought from Portofino. Um, I'll show you if I can show you. I got so much shit in my room. I don't know what's what. Okay. Yeah, right there in front of that big ass mirror is a little fan. That is what I originally was using. And you have to put it together yourself. And I mean literally put it together yourself. You have to put the fan blades in, all that. Uh, Not fun. Did not enjoy that. For a $15 fan, I should have not had to have put it together myself. Just gonna say that now. Anyway, from day one, the damn thing the blades will hit against the cage constantly. So all I'm hearing is very irritating. And it just keeps going. It's not like super loud that it keeps me awake, but because I'm not used to the sound, I can't sleep. So I'm leaving it on the side for now because who knows, I may need it some other day. So I went and got a new one, which is a Honeywell fan, which is turbo force power. And it's smaller than the one I had before, but oh my god. I nearly freeze to death in the middle of the night because of the damn thing. Like, once the AC comes on, done. There is no way that my room could could warm up, even with everything on. It's impossible. My nails are crooked. And it's not even me putting them on crooked. I was just following the nail. Fucking crooked. Um, this thing hums like crazy. And for some reason, that doesn't irritate me. I absolutely love it. I don't know what it is about the humming, but it helps me focus on that when I'm going to sleep. I do wish it was a bit bigger. I wanted to get a box fan, but the only thing I remember about the box fans is them being extremely loud. And because I live with my mother and her husband, who are, well, who I thought were sensitive to sound, I do not, I did not get it. Um, my headphones can pick that up really well. That or they're broken. I don't know. Anyway, I am gonna have to get food at some point. I'm hungry already. Florida, at this point, I actually really miss Washington. And if I knew it wasn't fraud, I would keep using Washington's food stamps. But I didn't. Florida, like most states that have food stamps, when you apply for food stamps, they go to find out if you're an able bodied adult. Well, Washington was the type of state that kind of puts that off because of everything else that is going on around them. Uh, People losing their jobs and disease everywhere, so they weren't really concerned with the able bodied adults program. So Washington did not care. The only thing that was absolutely necessary to keep the food stamps going in Washington was a mid certification review, which is basically you call them on the phone, you say, yes, I'm still homeless, no, nothing has changed, and blah, blah, blah. And that's it. They ask you how you're using your food stamps. Obviously, it's buy food. Duh. It's not like you can use it for anything else. Um, are you still cooking for only you? Obviously. And are you still homeless with housing? Yes. Basically, questions like that. So that was all. Um, the mid certification review was every other half a year, I believe. You could go 6 months with your food stamps and then and then when you reapply during the other 6 months, you have to give the certification review or something like that. Um, Washington was very peculiar about their mid certification reviews. You have to do those. If you do not, they would cut your food stamps off or call you themselves and ask you as to why you haven't done whatever. If they can't get a hold of you by phone, they will send in, they will send you a letter and ask you. Uh, anyway, Florida does the Able Bodied Adults program, which requires you to work, uh, what is it? 30 to 40 hours a week. Either way. It's 80 hours a month, and they want you to participate in training programs. It's kind of like WorkSource. And if you don't know what WorkSource is, it is basically you go in, these people help you, supposedly help you with training you for jobs. Not fucking true, by the way. They don't actually help you, especially in Washington. You sit there and stare at a computer screen all damn day. That is how they train you in Washington with WorkSource. There are no there's no going there for um, like actual hands-on training or anything like that. No, you go there, you listen to people lecture you, and stare at a computer. And they'll do it in class form, so you're basically going back to school. It's the same no matter where you go. WorkSource, Florida's Able-Bodied Adults program, all of it's the same. They don't actually teach you squat. And they're not interested in how you feel. They're not interested in what's wrong with you. All they care about is that you get off your ass and you do something. Like, sorry, can't do. I was like, I don't care if I get food stamps or not at this point. Like, if I knew I wouldn't get in trouble, I would have kept using the food stamps in Washington because I could just call them and be like, everything's still the same. Done. What is the meaning of life? 32. Was it 42? I never can remember. It's one of them. I'll have to watch that movie again. I have it. So I went and got snacks from the store with the food stamps that I had left, which is Almond Joys, which are over there, Mounds, I got 2 bags of Mounds, and whatever this monstrosity is, which is the Skittles Shriekers, I believe is what they call them. Yeah. Some are so sour they will make you screech. Well, I don't know about anyone else, because sour things don't bug me. The same with hot sauces. Don't bug me. But anyway, I was eating them last night, and I don't know if it was because I mixed 2 different colors together or it was dark so I couldn't tell what was left in my hand. They both looked green to me. And, oh, I nearly threw up because it tasted like grape medicine. And not the usual just where it's got that really grape taste to it. No, this had a really, really strong taste to it. Anyways, what it means by some are extremely sour that'll make you shriek and all that, it's in the bag. Each little individual bag has maybe one, two, or three, sometimes all of them, just a random amount of sour Skittles in it. And it's not on the outside. The sour is on the inside, which is probably what gave that horrible taste. Was one of the grape ones was sour. That's what I'm assuming, but they both looked green to me. Yeah. But anyway, um, after I had dinner last night, I went into the fridge and I pulled out one of my almond joys and a drink. And I saw all these snacks in the shopping bag and by my fridge. And all I could think to myself was, how the hell am I going to eat all these? It's been a while since I've had snacks around. Usually I get like one bag of Mounds and it's gone within a couple days. Like there's no one, two, or three at a time, a day type thing. Like when I was in Washington, I would just scarf little boogers down. But I get here and I'm having them not very often. I even still have a full box of snowballs over there, and I've only had one of them. And I bought those quite a while ago. Plus, there are other snacks in there, which I actually need to go through because there were two bags of chips, one open, one closed. One, they were both the same flavor, but ew. Poppables. These are chips, Lay's chips, that have this weird kind of saucer type shape to them. And the white cheddar, which I usually don't like, that flavor ended up being the best. I went and got both the poppables in a different flavor, thinking that maybe they wouldn't be so bad. They were terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't like them at all. Um, but you know, to each their own. Uh, I'd probably like something else completely different. Mm. So I've been reading. Well, I can't really. A way to protect the female lead's older brother. Okay, that is the title that it gives me on the thing. Um, the actual title I cannot say because it looks like gibberish. Anyway, it is the way to protect the female lead's older brother. This story is actually very interesting and very, very well done. Um, like, I'm very upset that it's still not going. I reached the last chapter, which is chapter 35, a couple days ago. I'm very ticked off about it because, oh my god, I absolutely love it. Now, I will say that the last dress that they put her, the main character, in, I didn't like too much just because one side of the dress actually sticks up like that and it just stays. It's like, how can you wear something like that? I don't understand. But anyway, it is a story about a family, about families. Um, there were, let's see, I believe there were one, two, white, red, black, silver, gold, five ducal, five ducal families, and each of them has its own. Each of them has their own specialty. So the Gold family is puppetry. Their puppets breathe, um, and act like humans, so much so that you can actually confuse them with an actual person because they have a presence. Um, then you have the Black family, which is where our villainess is from, who happens to be the main character. Her family specializes in, well, the art of anything having to do with killing people, whether it be kidnapping, poisoning, just assassination, or seduction. Anything of the sort, they are trained in. The family doesn't care for each other. Caring for any of them is a weakness. They don't seem to understand that it's also a strength. But anyway, um, this family is constantly at war, whether it's trying to one up each other or killing each other or trying to see who gets the new toy. They're that type of family. Then you have the Blue Princess family, which is Silver. I can't remember their names. Um, Let me see if I can find it. When we first met, Petalin, Petalane, something. It's something like that. Um, or you can just say the Blue Prince's family. I don't know why they call him the Blue Prince, but whatever. Um, they specialize in. They have. Um, that's hard to explain. A healing ability. Basically, they can purify a person. Um, I'm not going to go into all the details of it because the book itself is rated a is adult rated. Now, when you're actually reading it, there's nothing like completely. You're not really seeing much of anything. They don't even hint at anything like that. They do mention once that the heroine who gets kidnapped um, is defiled. Um, but that's basically about it. You don't actually get to see anything. You don't get to see anyone fighting over anything because, well, the villainess is changing everything as it goes. Then you have the white, not silver, but white. Well, you could just call them blue instead of whatever. And then you have white, who are who have the ability to control magical creatures. Um, and in the original story, the villainess mentions that it was the successor of the white family that had the venomous butterflies. This time around, she has them and is raising them. Uh, I'm pretty sure that'll come into play at some point, but they have a way of communicating and controlling magical beasts. The Red family they haven't mentioned. The one thing they've shown the successor of the Red family. He's cute, by the way. Got a scar. Um, Beautiful red hair, and has a phobia of women. Uh, they haven't particularly said what their skill was, what they specialize in, but they've only just started introducing these families. They started off with introducing them in the beginning, but again, they don't give you a really quick rundown of these characters. They don't just be like, hey, this is what they specialize in, deal with it. Let's see. Gastier of the red, Petalin of the blue, Bertriam of gold, Ferron of white, and I don't know how to say their name, so I'm going to butcher it, but it's Agriche. The breach? Something like that, of black. Uh, how to protect the female lead, how to protect the female protagonist until further. They change the name so often, you never really. Da, 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 da. Yeah, they have. Okay, Throne of Light has the ability to control beasts, good or evil. Um, just depends on which one they like, I guess. Yeah, yeah, basically called blah blah blah. Let's see. It looks like it's gonna rain again. I may need to go outside and smoke before it starts. Let's see. Oh, I could have sworn I had a damn pen around here somewhere. Attitude. Soul's giving me attitude. So is Maka. Anyway, let's see. Since I can't write. Dumb. So they have white, which is just put animals. Red, we don't know. We'll leave that blank. Blue. Not for, I said of. Thank you. Of. And then let's see. Gold. Which is puppetry. And then black. One, two, three, four, five families. Yes. I know I sent a message. I sent a message to myself. Quit telling me I sent a message to myself. Anyway. Each of the families specializes in something different. They don't really mention too much about other families. The main concern at this point was the heroine of the story's brother gets kidnapped by the Black family, by the Egrish family, or however you pronounce their damn name. So the villainess, Roxanne, takes him in as a toy after a while. Goes down there, tries helping lessen his pain and stuff like that, and then just ends up being granted to have him as a toy. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in between, but her main concern is trying to keep him alive, help him escape, that way she can live. And this last chapter, no, this is 30. living, breathing humans. They're dolls that behave like living, breathing humans. That's the Gold family's thing. Anyway. They don't fear death, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, in the original story, they kidnap the heroine's brother and eventually kill him off. Um, then they kidnap the heroine Sylvia, and she goes basically completely mad. They say blackened Sylvia. Um, and she destroys the um, she ends up going completely insane and threatens to kill the entire family, which eventually she does, but she ends up exterminating the family and stuff like that. So the whole point was Roxanne takes him in, tries to get him to trust her, tries to help him, and basically releases him, and then uses her venomous butterflies, which there are three different types. There are the venomous ones, then there's the hallucinogenic ones, and then there's the carnivorous ones. Um, she used the hallucinogenic ones to fake Cassis's death um, in front of her dad, with having carnivorous butterflies eat him alive. Um, and of course, aside from Dion, this puts her at the second of the family. Aside from their father, Dion, then her. Uh, they literally rank their own fucking family members by how cruel they are. Um, anyway, so she kills him in front of her dad after helping him escape. Well, it gets to like chapter. Oh, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. The heir of the Jester of the Red family. Music. He has a phobia of women. But this, they don't mention who Red is. His looks are definitely worthy of being the male protagonist of the novel. Just about every other family is the protagonist, so. Yeah, they never say what their ability was. He's obviously smitten with her, but anyway, um, yeah, they never, no matter when they are introducing them, they never say what the red ability is. Like it's just the Reds and worthy of being the male protagonists. Just for reference here, okay. Um, Gold, Blue are supposedly the heroes. Um, I'm not entirely sure if Gold is supposed to be a hero because from everything that I've heard from them so far, as well as their master being a completely lazy piece of crap, um, they say he's got blonde hair, beautiful green eyes, and the best words to describe him is cute. Which, when you first meet him, you're thinking, oh my god, he's so cute. Like, he kind of reminds you of Honey from, well, you should know. Um, but he kind of gives off that vibe. Uh, and then you have the whites, well, the blues, which are which is where the heroine comes from, Sylvia. And then I believe it's Sylvia who either gets together with, let me see if I can find it. I can't ever keep track of this. It's been what? 35 freaking chapters since they went over this. Let's see, the story begins after the villainess's father kidnaps a certain young man. The book is called The Flower from Hell. Just from the cover, you can tell just from the cover. It's supposed to be you can't tell. Jesus. Just from the cover. but this is a romance novel. Has recently been popular between friends in the same major. Anyway, where the female lead, Sylvia, along with other male leads, were captured, incarcerated, and had erotic affairs. It was a 19 plus reverse harem novel. They don't really show anything, so it's not like the Duchess's Lewid invitation where they actually show things. Anyway, the book's background includes the Black Agrish, still don't know how to say that, Blue Petalin, Pet, I don't do English, yellow, oh, it's not yellow, Bertram, it's gold, but yellow, gold, whatever. The White Ferone, and Red Gaster. 5 rolling families. Um, the family that the female lead belongs to was enemies with the Black. Sylvia had mysterious silver hair that reflected a bluish light. Of course, the frickin' heroine has brilliant golden eyes like the sun. And she was a beautiful and lovely girl. The tragedy of that female lead began with Petalin's successor, as someone who participated in public affairs from a young age, and Sylvia's only older brother, Cassius Petalin, went missing. Obviously, Black kidnapped him. And the cause of this incident was the family head of the Petalin's enemy, the Black Launt, which is their dad's name. His name is Launt, which is actually a very good bad guy name. I don't know why they don't use that more often. You don't hear it often enough. Um, who is unfortunately my father. Additionally, the young man who was just dragged away was Cassius Petalin. And then she says, "Ha, now shit is really hitting the fan. Damn it." Anyway, she goes down to the dungeon to blah 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 to seduce the guard at the gate so that she can get in to go and see him, because no one, this is the first time a toy has been cut off from anyone in the family going to visit him. But Roxanne is a very, very attractive girl. Like golden hair that looks like it was spun from gold itself, perfectly cut ruby eyes. Just, she's a freaking goddess. She's gorgeous. Anyway, she goes to see him to try to get him to trust her, blah, blah, blah. Um, to start with, he doesn't recognize her because he's temporarily blind because of a curse. But anyway, there's a grand banquet of the Black family, devoid of the slightest bit of familiar love. Lant had 4 wives and, of course, a great number of children. Among them, the most accomplished 3 had the privilege to attend the grand banquet with our father, the head of the family. So he takes his top 3 children and he'll eat dinner with them. I didn't have a seat there, but of course that was before that incident when we were young. I don't know what that incident is. I don't know if they actually properly explain that. Um, they never properly explain what that incident was. They do point out that the incident caused her her older brother to die. Anyway, she goes on to explain how sweet and beautiful her mother is and how kind. And all I keep thinking is that mother was fucking stupid. She obviously didn't know who the hell she was marrying. However, the day I first met my father, he just named me and left the place. He was a rotten parent in and out. My mother, smiling purely, gazed down at me like always, and she tells her baby daughter to hurry up and grow up healthy and become a fine Agrich. Agrich. I don't know how you'd say that. Agrich. Anyway, to become a fine black. And then deja vu hits her. This family, drugs, poison, fraud, theft. If necessary, they would kill without hesitation. A criminal family that dominates the underworld. That is the blacks. The most astonishing was that the children of this family had to follow that family tradition. And now the blacks had maintained their name in this manner. And to become a true black, we had to receive a steady education. Of course, I could not escape that family tradition. Even if she's reincarnated, there's no way to get out of that unless she dies. Um, it would be okay if it was just things to memorize. I have no practical skills. Even my father said I have no practical skills and would talk down to me. At the mere age of, let's see, I believe she was 12. Yeah, I believe she was 12. Which means her brother 13, 14, 15 was like 16. And her Azel is her literal biological brother, not half brother. Same mom, same dad. He was born 4 years before her. The incident is he dies. Um, Azel and I hated participating in the blacks' household affairs, and when we performed badly, that incident happened. Um, my biological brother Azel failed that special test, dying young. He had been disposed of. The female's brother must live for blah blah blah. Yet they never go into the reds. And basically they introduce them as they go, but they go into the golds without prompt. They go into the whites without prompt, and she goes into her own family, of course, because you have to have a background story of how screwed up the family is, and then the blues, which again you have to understand how different the families are, um, which is pretty freaking obvious. Yeah, it's sorcery, not poison. Oh, huh, look, her blushing, so cute. Just because she lifted up a shirt. Anyway, basically the blacks kidnap the blue. They kill the blue. Sylvia is then brought into the black family at some point, where everyone tends to fall in love with the frickin' heroine for some reason, even though she's not all there. They never have the heroine all there. There's always got to be something seriously wrong with her. Either it's because she's so sweet that she's stupid, or she's just kind of a loose nut. Um, anyway, everyone tends to fall for the heroine for some stupid reason. So somehow she gets to the black family. She is told by Jeremy, the main Roxanne's younger half brother, the only one in the family that actually gets along with her, by the way. He's the only one that actually treats her like family. The others just see her as competition. Anyway, Jeremy does have a bit of an issue, is that he doesn't like anyone getting close to his sister. So, of course, when sister is actually interested in the new toy Cassis, he tries to find a way to get rid of him. You know, a normal brother thing to do when you're completely obsessed with your beautiful older sister. And it's not just people who speak to her rudely or act rudely towards her, it's anyone who even thinks about looking at her, anyone who lusts after her, just anything of the sort. You look her direction, you're dead. Simple as that. Um, anyway, uh, Jeremy's the one that tells her that they killed her brother. Sylvia then turns, they say she's blackened Sylvia. I don't know why they used blackened or darkened. They just could have, she went completely insane. But anyway, uh, she threatens to tear down the black family, which she does. Um, Meanwhile, during that whole time, her dad and mother are trying to find a way to bring him back to life. And one of the things that they decided to go and try was going to the Gold family to ask them for help. Of course, Noel, the head of the Gold family, is an extremely lazy boy. Although he is the same age around Sylvia and her and Roxanne, so he'd be somewhere in his really early 20s. because I believe Roxanne's 20 and the heroine is 19, 18 or 19. Um, anyway, uh, Noel, the head of the Gold family, who specializes in puppetry, gets a request from two of the families. The first is from the Blue family to bring their son back. They needed a successor, and of course, in most stories, it's only the males that can succeed a family. Um, I think it was just because they thought Sylvia was a little too sweet. Anyway, and then the second one, after they were refused, he wouldn't meet with them, nothing. The second one was the blacks. Lant goes and tries to get Noel on his side, tries to meet with him, sends him letters, all sorts of things, because he wants a puppet army. Because they don't fear death and they won't complain about being tired and blah, blah, blah. So he wants a puppet army. I mean, seriously, if you were in this type of book, wouldn't you? And Lot's really stupid. From what I've seen of Noel, from what I've seen so far, is there are two very simple ways to get his attention. One of them being fucking sweets. Um, so as far as I'm concerned, the main villain of the story, is kind of stupid himself. Because if you're really going to try and work undercover or anything of the sort, try to get information out of other families, instead of just teaching your children seduction and stuff like that, shouldn't you be teaching them how to speak to other people? How to use other people's likes against them? Like, isn't that the normal thing to do? Everyone does it. You want to get close to someone, you use what they like. Like, it's freaking obvious. It, you use it against them. Everyone does it. Like, like this could be a horrible example, but like luring kids to a van with candy. It's something they like and it works. Okay, screwed up as that is, and as tragic as that is, it is using something they like to use against them. They're like that. I don't know. I don't understand why people don't think about stuff like that. Um, the Blue family loves their son. Lant didn't have to kidnap him and torture him to death. He could have just kidnapped him, forced him to marry one of his children, or just held him captive to force Sylvia or one of his children to marry into that family to merge them into one. He could have kept doing this because of how many freaking children he has. Okay? He could have done this with every single family. With each of the Ducal families, he could have absorbed them if he used his children and or wives the right way. That's all I gotta say. The guy's stupid. For a villain, he's stupid. Um, Noel has a thing for Roxanne. The second he sees her, he gets a nosebleed and he can't stand straight. He obviously has a huge crush for her. Not only that, he has a thing for sweets. Could have used those two things and lured him in to get his puppet army. Didn't do that. Instead, he was an idiot and kept trying to send out invitations to someone who never responds to invitations. Um, the Red family could have lured them in with a competition. Simple as that. Um, presented one of their strongest women as a prize or whatever, or something of the sort. And would have had them easy. Uh, even the White family. Find a rare magical beast. Uh, Oruca. I don't know how you would pronounce that, but that's how you spell it. He's the next heir. He's the successor of the White family. He has an obsession with magical beasts. So, if you wanted to lure him in, you announce that you have found a rare magical creature and you want someone to help you identify it, or something of the sort. Uh, i.e., that would be the venomous butterflies. They would have been able to lure him in within 2 seconds. Could have married him off to Roxanne as well. But anyway, it just goes to show that the villains, they never tell you why Lant is the way he is. And as far as I'm concerned, he has absolutely no reason to be the way he is. He's just following what everyone else did. That family could have been a hell of a lot more dangerous if they had actually worked on trying to be part of people instead of just killing them. You know, they could have been a bigger threat to the Empire if they had just done that. If they had worked on people's weaknesses. Even the Emperor has a weakness. Now, they haven't introduced him yet, but everyone has a weakness. And every single villain in every single book, anime, TV show, whatever the fuck it is, doesn't have a damn brain. They do something stupid, then make a stupid mistake, cause a whole bunch of problems, and instead of apologizing and standing up to their issues, they try to sweep it under the rug, which causes an even bigger issue, and then all chaos breaks loose until someone who wasn't part of the story gets dragged in and has to fix everything. Give us a smart villain. That is all I gotta say. I want a smart villain. A villain that you don't even know is a villain until it is far too late. Because those are the best villains. Why? Because they wait. They're patient. They're calm. No matter what the situation, they're level headed. Why? Because they have a goal to accomplish and they can't let shit get in their way and ruin it. They have a set goal. They wait. They plan around it. They use people's weaknesses to become good, to become advisors of the emperor or knights or something of an honorary position. Instead, you have instead in most of these stories you have duke daughters, count's daughters, um, viscountesses' daughters, um, all of this becoming villains themselves because, well, mommy and daddy gave them everything, and because one person doesn't like them, or because they don't like one person because that person's prettier than them, they go completely ballistic and things never work out their way. Or they're told from a young age how gorgeous they are and that they could get anything they want with their beauty, or just handed everything to get them to shut up. Villainesses in these stories are quite stupid, actually. Um, there's a whole lot wrong with that. Anyway, freaking hour. I need to get food and I need to go out and smoke. So I will see you guys later. Have a beautiful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of the day it is for you. And I will see you again later.